everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. We know you come here to get right to the heart of what's changing the world. So today, we're diving deep into something that has the potential to change just about everything, the future of AI solutions. And we've got some seriously fascinating food for thought from the Future Tech Wise blog to guide our exploration.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. What really jumps out at me from this material is this idea of a power shift when it comes to AI. We're not talking about just incremental improvements. We're talking about AI becoming way more accessible, like potentially shifting from being this exclusive domain of specialists to being something that everyday people and businesses can really wield.
That's a big claim, this power shift, as you put it. I mean, what would something like that even look like?
Well, think about it. Not that long ago, if you wanted to do anything serious with photography, you needed all this specialized knowledge,
Yeah.
right? Dark rooms, developing chemicals, expensive equipment, and then, boom, point-shoot cameras, instant photos. Suddenly everyone's a photographer. It feels like AI might be on the verge of a similar kind of democratization.
Okay, so that's a really compelling image. AI going from this kind of exclusive club to something anyone can use. And the blog post points to a few key trends that are making this possible. Things like user-friendly AI platforms, the rise of AI being driven by APIs, the expanding capabilities of these large language models, and then there's this whole concept of auto ML, which I'll admit I'm still wrapping my head around.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces, but they're all kind of pointing in the same direction. AI becoming much more user-friendly and available.
All right, so let's break it down. Let's start with these user-friendly AI platforms. What we're talking about here, according to the blog, is a world where building an AI solution could actually become as simple as putting together a set of building blocks, like drag and drop, pre-made modules, guided processes. Is it really going to be that straightforward?
Well, the goal is to make it that straightforward. Right now, a lot of AI development is very code-heavy, very algorithmic. These platforms are trying to abstract all of that away so you don't need to be a coding whiz to build something powerful. Think of it like this. Imagine a small business owner who wants to use AI to better understand their customer feedback. Instead of having to hire a whole data science team, they could potentially just use one of these platforms to put together a solution themselves, visually, intuitively.
Okay, so instead of writing lines of code, you're essentially assembling an AI tool, almost like putting together, I don't know, like a piece of IKEA furniture.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. And this whole idea of user-friendly development ties in really well with another trend the blog highlights, API-driven AI and microservices. What this basically means is that businesses won't necessarily need to build entire AI systems from scratch anymore.
So it's kind of like having access to this giant library of specialized AI skills. Instead of having to hire a full-time expert for every single skill you might need, you can just sort of call up the specific skill you need at the moment.
Right. Need some image recognition? Boom, API call. Need some language translation? API call. You pay for what you use. You can be super agile about it.
So it's cost-effective and it's flexible. I like it. Now, the blog also puts a lot of emphasis on LLM-based platforms or large language models. And for someone like me who's definitely not fluent in code, the idea of just interacting with AI using plain language is really exciting. Like just being able to talk to it or type a question and have it understand. That seems like a game changer for accessibility.
Absolutely. LLMs have been trained on massive amounts of text data. Think the entire internet, books, articles, you name it. So they have a really deep understanding of human language. This means you can just ask a question or give a command in normal, everyday language, and the AI can figure out what you mean and respond intelligently.
So you can literally say, hey, AI, summarize the key trends from these 100 research papers, or draft an email to this client that sounds professional but friendly, and it would just do it.
That's the idea. It takes away a lot of the complexity and opens up AI's power to so many more people and tasks. And then we get to auto ML, which the blog positions as the next step in this evolution. This is where it gets kind of meta, right? AI is starting to automate its own creation process.
Okay, so we've got these user-friendly platforms making it easier for people to build AI. Is AutoML like giving those people an AI assistant to help them build even better AI?
In a way, yeah. AutoML platforms handle a lot of the really complex and time-consuming tasks that are currently involved in building machine learning models. Things like data preparation, feature selection, model tuning. It takes care of all the nitty-gritty details so you can focus on the higher-level stuff.
So to use another analogy, if those platforms are like giving people the tools to build a house, AutoML is like having an expert contractor who comes in and makes sure everything is level, the wiring's done right, and the plumbing isn't going to leak.
Exactly. And the exciting thing about this is that as these tools get more sophisticated, it could really accelerate the pace of AI development.
So, with AI becoming more accessible and easier to use, the blog naturally spends a lot of time exploring how this is going to play out in different industries. And healthcare is a big one. The potential there seems truly transformative.
Oh, absolutely. Earlier disease detection, more accurate diagnoses. The blog talks about AI analyzing medical images with incredible speed and accuracy. And then there's the potential for personalized medicine, where treatments are tailored to your specific genetic makeup and lifestyle.
It's amazing to think about AI helping doctors make better decisions and personalized treatments in ways that were never possible before. And then there's the whole area of predictive analytics, where AI can help hospitals anticipate things like surges in patient needs.
Right, imagine being able to proactively allocate resources based on AI predictions. That can make a huge difference in the quality of care. And speaking of proactive, the blog also talks about AI-powered chatbots that can provide patients with instant access to information and support. That could be a game changer, especially for people in remote areas or with limited access to healthcare.
Now, manufacturing might not be the first industry that jumps to mind when you think about cutting-edge AI, but the blog actually paints a really fascinating picture of how it's being used there too.
Yeah, people often think of AI as something that's going to replace blue-collar jobs. Yeah. But it's also about making those jobs more efficient and safer. The blog talks about things like predictive maintenance, where AI can analyze data from sensors to identify potential equipment failures before they even happen.
So instead of waiting for a machine to break down and cause costly downtime, you can fix it before it becomes a problem. That makes a lot of sense.
And then there's the whole area of smart automation, where AI-powered robots can take over dangerous or repetitive tasks. This frees up human workers to focus on more complex and creative aspects of the job. And it can also help improve quality control and efficiency on the production line.
From factories to, well, our online shopping carts, the blog also highlights how AI is poised to transform the customer experience. This is something we're all already starting to see, right, with things like chatbots and personalized recommendations.
Yeah, but those are just the early stages. The blog paints a picture of a future where AI is used to create these hyper-personalized experiences at every touch point. Think about AI-powered chatbots that can handle much more complex customer queries, recommendation engines that truly understand your preferences and anticipate your needs, and automated support systems that can resolve issues quickly and efficiently.
So it's not just about sending you generic marketing emails or showing you the same products as everyone else. It's about AI understanding you as an individual and tailoring your experience accordingly. And it's not just retail. This applies to pretty much every industry that interacts with customers.
Exactly. The goal is to build stronger, more loyal customer relationships by providing experiences that are both convenient and deeply personalized. And speaking of personalization, the blog also talks about how AI is going to change the financial industry in some pretty big ways. This is a sector that's already heavily reliant on technology, but AI is taking it to a whole new level.
Right, and one of the areas the blog highlights is fraud detection. It seems like AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated at identifying and preventing fraudulent transactions, which is good news for all of us.
Definitely. And AI is also being used to automate trading, which can potentially make markets more efficient and less prone to human error. But one of the most interesting applications the blog mentions is the rise of AI-powered financial advisory services.
Okay, so instead of going to a human financial advisor, you could potentially get personalized financial advice from an AI. That sounds both futuristic and kind of intimidating.
It's definitely a big shift, but it also has the potential to make financial expertise more accessible to people who might not otherwise be able to afford it. Imagine being able to get personalized advice on investments, savings, and retirement planning, all powered by AI that can analyze market trends and your individual financial situation.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it. And beyond these more commercial applications, the blog also touches on how AI is being used to address some of the really big challenges facing our planet, specifically in the area of environmental sustainability.
Yeah, this is where AI's ability to analyze massive amounts of data can really shine. The blog talks about AI being used to monitor deforestation, optimize energy grids, and predict environmental risks. It's really exciting to see how this technology can be used to help protect our planet.
It's like giving environmental scientists and policymakers a powerful new tool in their arsenal. And speaking of tools, the blog also explores how AI is changing the very nature of work itself. It's not just about machines replacing humans, but also about AI becoming a core tool for professionals across a wide range of fields.
Exactly. In software development, AI can help write code and identify bugs. In project management, it can help allocate resources and assess risks. And in pretty much any role that involves working with data, AI can help you make sense of it and extract valuable insights.
So it's not about AI taking over jobs, it's about AI augmenting human capabilities and freeing us up to focus on the things that humans are uniquely good at.
Right. Things like creativity, strategy, and critical thinking. But this also means that the skills we need to thrive in the workplace are evolving.
Which is why the blog also talks about the importance of education and training to prepare people for the jobs of the future, which will likely involve working alongside AI in various ways. And speaking of the future, the blog also dives into the role of government in regulating this rapidly evolving field of AI.
Yeah, it's becoming increasingly clear that governments need to establish clear guidelines for ethical AI development and use. The blog mentions things like ensuring transparency in how AI systems work and protecting individual privacy.
These are complex issues with no easy answers. But it's important to have these conversations now as AI becomes more powerful and pervasive in our lives.
Absolutely. And on the economic front, the blog highlights the incredible growth potential of the AI services market. They cite a statistic from Gartner forecasting that this market will reach a staggering $609 billion by 2028. That's a huge number.
It really underscores the fact that AI is not just a technological trend, it's also a massive economic force. Businesses that embrace AI effectively are going to have a significant competitive advantage in the years to come.
For sure. And the blog concludes by briefly mentioning OnPassive, which they describe as a platform that aims to help businesses leverage the power of AI and automation to optimize their operations.
It sounds like OnPassive is positioning itself right at the forefront of this trend toward more accessible and integrated AI solutions. So to bring it all together, this deep dive into the Future Tech Wise blog has really opened my eyes to the fact that AI is rapidly moving from this complex, niche field to something that's going to be deeply integrated into almost every aspect of our lives. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Absolutely. And the potential implications for how we work, how we live, and how we solve problems are truly profound. It's an exciting time to be alive, but it's also a time for careful consideration and thoughtful planning as we navigate this new era of AI.
Couldn't agree more. And that brings us to a final thought for our listeners. We've talked a lot about how AI is becoming more accessible and powerful, but how do you see this trend impacting your own life and work in the coming years? What new possibilities do you see emerging, and what potential challenges are you preparing for? These are important questions to ponder as we all step into this increasingly AI-powered future. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.